We're at Springdale Park in Holyoke, Massachusetts. It's in the Springdale neighborhood of that community. And we're looking in distance at the John Proulx house. It's a beautiful Queen Anne Victorian home. It was the first house in this entire neighborhood. And from that point, he helped build up his neighborhood because he owned a construction firm with his brother Nicholas. And they built up the homes around here from the point that he moved in 1886. And he had his house be beautiful because he wanted a beautiful neighborhood. Why this neighborhood? Because it was the first trolley neighborhood of Holyoke. The trolley would go along Main Street, and this is part of Main Street. It would go all the way to the Springfield border, turn around, and so this grew into the first trolley neighborhood. And we're going to go as one of our stops to his house. But first we're going to scan some of the important things that developed around here, including across the street. Across the street you have the second Springdale School. This one is from 1937. And the last is a public school, but it's now special education and private school, so it's no longer used by the city itself. And in the background, you can see some homes. All these houses and streets developed from mostly the Proulx family initiative, but also from other families. And we're going to point a little more in the distance up northwards on Main Street, and you can see one apartment complex. There's actually three almost in a row. The one you're looking at is called the Park View. It's from about 1900, 1910 era. And there's two more beyond that called the Paquette and the Luther. And of course, when you have houses, you're also going to have apartment complex, and they're beautiful because they're right over a beautiful park. Now, John Proulx not only owned his beautiful house and made his construction firm area, he also owned all the park that we're going to see in front. So you see a park now, and he owned this park from 1895 to 1905, and he called it Riverview, and it wasn't really a park. What it really was a racetrack for horses. And the horses would go around a half-mile racetrack. Pretty much the two longest points were the long views you see from here, and the short turns were around this parking lot and around the other parking lot. It was a half-mile long, and it replaced another horse track that was only a quarter mile from us, basically where the Holyoke wastewater treatment plant is along the river. And so he, for 10 years, owned this, but the city of Holyoke from 1902 to 1905 told him to sell it to us. And they tried to reach an agreement, and he always refused because he wanted his racetrack going. And it was a tough situation, but the city of Holyoke wanted lots of parks around that time. They had a mayor called Arthur Chapin that wanted to develop the park system of Holyoke to a great extent and have a park in every neighborhood. And they also had a playground commissioner who would become mayor after Chapin, and his name was Nathan Avery, and he wanted to develop the playgrounds of the city. And so what we're going to see in a very far distance, you can see very colorful things. There's a playground there that's very old. Now, in that area also, you had an old-time play area, but it was fashioned a lot different from now. It was fashioned so it had three sections. One was a calisthenics section for adults towards the right. In the middle was a section for younger people, including a wading pool and a little area where mothers can take care of their kids. But towards the left-hand side, closest to the road, was a section for the little babies. The mothers would go there with the tiny babies and take care of them. Now, along that section also, they developed a rose garden. The rose garden at its height had 800 rose plants in that area. And so it developed into that, and Holyoke kept it going from the 19 teens up to the early 1950s. And even when disaster would strike, such a big flood in 1936 and 38, they still kept the rose plants going. All right, so we're going to walk down to the next corner. Okay, what you can see here in the very first is a baseball field, and then you look across in the middle, another baseball field, and then you look across another baseball field. When this park was made in 1905, in 1907, 08, and 09, they built up these playgrounds and baseball fields, but they only had one baseball field, and they had a cricket field. And the cricket field is pretty much where that middle field was. And cricket was big time back then in 1910. So they had a cricket field in its place. Now, this last baseball field right in front of us was put in here last, and the reason why is because we're going to scan further to the south, and the reason why that southern portion was added pretty much where the benches are, and that was added as an addition to this park. And they added it because they wanted to make it longer, so they bought the land further out. Now, this is along the Connecticut River. We cannot see the Connecticut River, but it's behind this big dike system. From the early days of the Riverside Park up to 1940, there was a levee here. A levee is a dike without a system to it. So it became a dike in 1940 because it added a pump station. And the pump is able to get water out from behind this dike if water ever gets over the top of it. Right? So it's a very complex system. Now, the last thing to mention is this, that the first name, of course, I've been saying Riverside Park and Springdale Park. Which one is it? Well, from the beginning, 1895, even through 1905 when Holyoke owned it, it was Riverside Park. And then up to 1931, it was still Riverside Park. And then it took on both names at the same time. So it was Riverside Park and Springdale Park. And it wasn't until 1951 they officially made the change over to call it Springdale Park. And so it kind of had both. And I'm glad it lost the first name, because then Holyoke was able to use the term Riverside Park for a park that they built in South Hadley. And I didn't want confusion with two parks. So this was an introduction to Springdale Park, where we're going to cover in other stops a lot more of the details of the park. Thank you.